Hi, hope you guys are doing great. Hi, everyone. Welcome to our very first edition of Bybit Mastermind Professional Live Streaming. My name is Cyrus. I'll be hosting for you guys today. Thank you so much for joining us today. And, for this live streaming, really excited to have this conversation here. So today's topic is actually quite interesting. The future of decentralized trading and centralized trading. So we all know that we may have different preferences when it comes to trading, your favorite digital asset, and after so many incidents in the space, what are some of the latest technologies and measures that can improve the trader experience? And how these new innovations are actually shaping the future of crypto trading. And before we start our discussion today, I want to remind our audience that if you want to take advantage of our interactive features, such as asking questions to our guests, or simply you just want to express your views on the topic, you can join this live stream on our Bybit website and Bybit app so that you can take advantage of these interactive features. And also there's an ongoing campaign where every one of you can actually get a chance to share a prize pool. And today we have a 30,000 NOT token as the prize pool. Wow, very excited. And all you need to do is just scroll down to the live streaming page and answer the pop quiz. And if you are one of the first 100 winners, you're able to walk away with a share of 300,000 NOT token prize pool. Not just that, we also have something exclusively for newcomers. So we have a newcomer red packet giveaway happening sometimes during this stream. So once you see a red packet on the screen appears, simply just click it and you're able to share a 250 USDT reward. And please note that this is only for newcomers and new joiners. So if you don't want to miss that out, you can just hit the sign up button and create your own Bybit account now. And also, don't forget to hit the like button. Share this live stream with your friends and your loved one so that they can also get a chance to earn the prize pool and actually learn something today. Okay, so let's introduce our guest today. We have a very exciting guest of lineup. I want to introduce Yakov Lebedev, Chief Business Development Officer at 3Commerce. Yakov, good to have you on the show.
Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you? Can you give us quick introductions?
Sure. So thank you very much for having me here. My name is Yakov Lebedev. I am CBDO of 3Commerce, and 3Commerce is one of the leading trade automation tools out there in crypto industry. Launched in 2017, we have tens of thousands monthly active users, several billions of trading volumes each month, trading through us at all the major crypto exchanges, including Bybit, of course, one of our best partners. While we started back there as a retail product for retail users who want to automate their trades, now we see that the industry is shifting towards more, institutional adoption, and that's where we're going as well. So we have this growing segment of institutional investors, and we're building order management and execution infrastructure solutions tailored to them as well. And as for myself, prior to 3Commerce, I spent over a decade working at different exchanges. So I was on that side of the market for quite a long. I worked both on TradFi exchanges like the Moscow exchange in Russia and some leading crypto exchanges. Unfortunately, that wasn't Bybit, but that was another major exchange. Yeah, so probably I have a lot to say about this industry.
Well, I'm sure you have a lot of insights when it comes to trading. So let me introduce the rest of our panel. So I would like to introduce Iris Shah, Business Development from 1inch Lab. Good to see you again, Iris, here.
Hey, Cyrus, nice to see you again. Hey, Yakov, nice to
Yes.
see you as well. Yeah, hey everyone, it's Iris here. Thanks for having me. I work for 1inch business development team. So as I guess everyone knows that 1inch known for its DEX aggregator. And we are also working on permission DeFi, which is like relative to today's topic. We have innovated Fusion and Fusion Plus, which is gas-free and MEV protection DEX swap. This is about 1inch, and about myself. I get into this industry since 2017. I used to work for a tier 1 centralized exchange since its very early stage. So I guess I experienced both centralized exchange and DEX, and I'm looking forward to some exciting exchange of ideas with everyone. Thanks.
Right, that's why I invited you today to this live streaming. Yeah, so we also have Kevin Law, APAC Director of Business Development at CoinDesk Indices. Kevin, good to have you.
Hi, Cyrus. Good morning, and everyone. Good morning and good evening. Good afternoon, anyway. This is Kevin from Coindesk Indices. I covering the business development in APAC region. So Coindesk Indexes is one of the leading crypto index provider of the Coindesk Group, which the Coindesk Group owns the media, events, consensus, and also indexes part together. So we have been in the market since 2014. We provide the benchmark and also the trading signal to, like for example, to the ETF crypto funds, CeFi exchange, DeFi, so that they work on some institutional grade product together. And before I joined the Coindesk Indexes, I was with Matrix Spot, a prime brokerage working with both CeFi and DeFi for capital introduction and also facilities, trading facilities. And prior to that, I was from CME Group, a regulated derivatives exchange that offer the Bitcoin and Ethereum futures and options. So I think maybe I am in the both side. So for Condex, we just announced the acquisition of like CC data and also crypto compare. I think we'll have some more to talk about on how CeFi and DeFi and why what we can do together. Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly the right timing just to talk about that. All right, and we also have Nadim, Bitsgap coach from Bitsgap. Hey, Nadim. Nadim, I think you're on mute.
Oh, should be better now.
Yes.
Hi,
yes.
everyone.
Good to have
Excited
you. Yeah.
to be here. So basically, I'm Nadim Mirza. I am a crypto enthusiast, early adopter, started in crypto early days. That was around 2012, 2013. Had a whole mining farm running, really the exciting early blockchain days. And I've been transitioning from mining to trading since 2020 approximately, and now mainly have focused all my activity with Bitsgap, and Bitsgap, which is a platform for automated trading tools that provides, one dashboard, one holistic view of your trading activities across several exchanges, provides a set of tools that help users automate their trading activities. So it's really exciting, and I've been mainly focusing my activities around helping users. So really doing, bringing them portfolio management skills and how to deal with their activities in trading. Trading is, and we know it's not easy, so we need to be, manage all our risk. And that is something that a lot of newcomers lack. So we try to work on that from a coaching perspective.
All right, awesome. I'm sure you guys are very experienced in trading. Well, last but not least, we have our very own Idris Zatane. Hey, Idris, how are you?
Hi everyone, thank you for having me. My name is Idris. I've been into crypto industry. It's been 6 years now, and I currently work as a P2P specialist with Bybit, and I've been a Degen trader in the past years, doing a lot of activities in the market, anything you can imagine, like minting NFTs, trading NFTs, mint coins, etc. Like anything on chain that can have me.
All right, awesome. Well, it's a very exciting guest of lineup. So let's move on to our first discussion session. So I think in the very beginning, let's have a quick overview of the current state of decentralized trading and centralized tradings. A lot of people know that decentralized platforms perhaps they can offer greater transparency, while centralized platform often seems maybe more easy to use or more user friendly. So what's the current state of both DEX and centralized platform in general? Are we seeing any new measures for example, from centralized exchange that able to offer greater transparency? Perhaps we'll start with Yakov.
Yeah, thank you. So I think the question itself really nails down the core difference between these two things, the centralized and decentralized exchanges. And yes, it's true. DEXs, they do offer like more advanced control over the assets and way higher level of transparency for user himself and for everyone else out there. Which can be considered as a pro and as a con, depending on your needs. And this is natural due to blockchains, blockchain design. Well, this is really highly appreciated by more sophisticated and advanced users and traders, as we can see on the market. But from the regular Joe's perspective, this can be sort of cumbersome and difficult to understand, and the learning curve is steep, and user experience is can be, let's say, unfriendly, to say the least, on decentralized exchanges. So a regular Joe, I would say he will prefer the centralized exchange. And we see this trend of DEXs going towards more user-friendly experience, and centralized exchanges moving on to better transparency, which is reflected in the tradition of publishing proof of reserves for last 2 years. I think most of the exchanges are doing this, but still these two are pretty far away, and they do have their distinctive audiences. And yeah, so I think the current state is that we still have two different markets for different needs, for different type of users, and different strategies as well.
Yeah, well, that actually brings the point to Iris, since you have experience on like both kind of trading platforms or experience. Is it for DeFi, many people just have an impression that, oh, that's something is not easy to use. When it comes to trading, sometimes the liquidity is not as good as centralized platform, and the user experiences sometimes may not be the best. Is that still the case now?
Right. Thanks for that. Yeah, I think that's probably kind of the stereotype for most of the people think about DEX trading. But if you look back the statistics showing on the block, you will see that there's more people prefer to trade on DEX than CEX, centralized exchange. So it shows like more than 14% in this year, July, that people prefer to trade on DEX. And also, I think another things are changing is most of the centralized exchange, they start to build DEX platforms, like Binance have Binance wallets, Bitsgap have Bitsgap wallet, and OKX have OKX wallet. Those are all like 1inch partners. So you see there's market needs. Definitely people are being more cautious about trades, sometimes trade on centralized exchange because of the black swan events happened before. They want to hold assets themselves. And we do see there's centralized exchange using their user-friendly platform and try to add it on to their wallets as a decentralized exchange. So definitely, I think in the future on DEX trading, there's a long way to go, but still it's improving, and we see people are using it. So yeah, that's a good change.
Right, right. So, I want to move on to Kevin. I'm sure, for you guys, you talk to a lot of institutions, TradFi people. Are they always prefer centralized platform? Are you seeing a trend that, DeFi tools or DeFi platforms are also gaining tractions among, these user group?
So I guess because I think for institutional adoption is still at the early stage somehow with the with the influx of the spot coin ETF coming in early this year, and many actually many other jurisdictions are also trying to explore into the way in spot ETF. I think recently in APAC, Australia has been after Hong Kong, and then it said that Korea is coming up for the next one. And for the DEX side, I think that might be something I guess other panelists also mentioned about that. It's still the regulation is not that familiar with what DEX is about, and somehow that they want to be more regulated and pay safe for the counterparty risk somehow. So, but for us, like on the indexes, we work together with CeFi and DeFi because somehow that DeFi can be of a more flexible solution to provide, for example, some trades or maybe some sort of the structured product development side. So I think at the end of the day, it takes more time to get the DEX to get a more liquid order book and also more liquidity and also a deeper order book, so that that will be more trades to transfer from CeFi to DeFi on this way.
Right, right. So, I want to ask Nadim about when you talk to your students, when you talk to your community's members, are they always prefer, decentralized platform, or they prefer more like centralized, trading experience, or they actually maybe they kind of in between. Sometimes they use, both. What's your observation, Nadim?
Well, I think basically, and I think Yakov talked about this, there are two profiles that we are talking to. There is, the fans of centralized exchanges because it's easy to use. It's complicated tools. You need to learn them. But basically, it's, non-custodial wallets. You don't have to managing your security, which is a major issue in the crypto world. And so there are a lot of people who don't want to get into those technicals, and they just want to be users, consumers. And either because of age, of technical knowledge, everybody is not a crypto expert, everybody is not a software engineer, so they cannot manage their own wallets, their security, etc. So that is one type of profile, and those guys are mainly on centralized exchanges. DEX is a younger profile, such as Idris, and he'll talk about this later on. He was talking earlier about, all these new technologies. And this is, so they are more into, I want to manage my own funds. I want to manage my own security, but you need technical skills for that. And having this type of profile, they are ready to take a bit more risk. I think from a risk level, they are managing their own risk. It's just like, and I often give this example to my users is, just imagine a bank. You've got your money in a bank. Your bank is managing your money, and you've got securities around that. Even if there are hacks on SEX, on centralized exchanges such as FTX, we know that goes into a whole process, and there are securities behind it. And we know we're seeing today, people are going to get their investment back. So that is very interesting. from a pure DEX perspective, I think Yakov was talking about this. I think there's a big lack of liquidity. So if you're having big trades, it's a bit more difficult. There's more latency. There's much more scams, with managing your own wallet. So I think we have these two profiles.
Right.
Both make sense. And I think,
right.
as Iris was saying, I'll just finish on this, is that we're going to move to something which is going to be a hybrid exchange, which would bring together the best of both worlds. And that is where we are going. But that is something that will take time, and we'll be getting there in a few years' time, I think.
Right. So the hybrid model is actually quite interesting. So I want to ask Idris. So as a DGen trader yourself, I'm pretty sure you have experience on both kind of platforms. So I'd like to ask you about, like, from a user's perspective, what barriers do you think new users are facing when they're trying to trade on decentralized platforms? So because like some of our panelists, they also talk about, like, maybe these platforms, they may not be exactly so user friendly. Is that a barrier for you?
For me, I don't think so, because I have a little bit of knowledge in Web3. But for new users, I would say it's a little bit challenging to use decentralized exchanges, because you need to keep in mind that whenever you buy something in decentralized exchanges, that means you made a transaction in the blockchain. And to make that transaction in the blockchain, you need to basically know how much fees are you paying, and which blockchain is that, and how much slippage, and sometimes the transaction will fail and you will pay for fees, etc. So those kind of things, people doesn't know about them when they use decentralized exchanges, because they are used to use only centralized exchanges. Because basically centralized exchanges, when you buy something and you swap something, you do not do any transaction in the blockchain. Basically, the centralized exchange simply swaps the coins for you. Like, for example, you want to buy from USDT to Ethereum, they will give you Ethereum and take your USDT. But in decentralized exchanges, that's not the case. You make a transaction in the blockchain with your own wallet. So, and to do so, you need how much fees that you need to pay, etc.
All right. So I actually have one more question. So like, look at the current crypto trading landscape. I think it's easy to notice that most of the trading volume is actually on centralized platform rather than on decentralized platform. Why is that? As I guess just said here, there's so many new innovations coming out, from the decentralized world, try to make the experience more smoother, more new user friendly, I would say. But why most of the liquidity and most of the trade volume still exists on centralized platform? Perhaps Iris, you want to answer that?
Yeah, sure. So honestly, I feel like CeFi is taking the same old TradFi rules and moving them into crypto space. So it's pretty much the same principle that have been running in finance for ages. So if you see the trading volume, of course, on centralized exchange include spot and future trading derivatives, definitely there have much more volume than decentralized exchange. But on the other side, I feel like for DEX, especially that I just mentioned that there's different chains, there's different tokens, and also there's upcoming like future trading platforms, or it's already existing like DYDX. I think the trading volume is catching up. It's more on the user education side, like and also mentioned that there's gas fees. You have to understand each chains. But I mean, as 1inch, we do innovated a swap product, which is called Fusion. So it is a permission DeFi solution, no gas fees for users. all the market makers are being KYB'd. So I think in the future, it might be not coming a few years, it's happening now or in the next coming years. This is going to be something more for a mass market that to understand DEX better and try to minimize the boundary for any of the retail or institutions to get into DeFi space.
Yeah, maybe I can just
okay, all right.
add to that. Maybe I can just
for sure.
add to that. It's as Iris was saying, we're SEX, they are still dominating, and that is, as Iris was saying, that's the traditional finance market. That has been like that for the past, I would say, 100 years. We're talking traditional finance, and moving people's mindset is something which takes time. Even if technology is there is a security perception from these institutions, which are the big money movers. Even if we're moving into retail is catching up and having access to finance products, which they did not have, 10 years ago. So we're catching up from a whole mass and retail users, which are coming in, which are bringing this distributed finance access, where traditional institutions are still moving on the centralized exchanges, and that will change, that will evolve as people evolve. And so it's the whole mindset that needs to evolve.
Well,
if you talk about that, evolution, as Nadim just said, what's the factor? What factor were able to speed up that process? Do we need any new innovations, technologies, or as some of the guests they just mentioned, education, I guess, is one big thing. But other than educations, do we need anything that, or what else were able to speed up that process, Yakov?
Yeah, so it was mentioned here that the education and that technology is the key to mass adoption, which I would argue with, because from my experience, if one need to get a mass adoption, the best thing he can do is to make the onboarding experience, the user experience, as smooth, as easy as possible. And that's where centralized exchanges win by a mile ahead. The overall experience of setting up an account and topping up this account with money and then trading is so simple. And centralized exchanges, all the major ones, they've put a lot of effort in doing this experience as simple as possible. And that is completely different from decentralized experience. And this is the problem. I have experience from my past. So when I was working at the Moscow exchange, when I started working there were just 100,000 retail investors in Russia. And we've also thought that we need more, technically advanced product, and we need a better education. But it all came down to actually easing the way of onboarding of users, and we've seen enormous growth of user base from 100,000 to 40 million right now. So that really proves the point that the onboarding experience is the key for the mass audience. Now, mass audience, they bring this. I don't want to be rude here, but like something opposite to smart money is not smart money. So the retail doesn't really trade. In many cases, retail can behave irrationally on the market, and they create this liquidity that other institutional players are looking for. So the institutions which are looking for alpha on the market, they look for this retail flow and they want to trade with retail. So that comes to the point when liquidity brings new liquidity. And that's what's happening with the centralized exchanges. Now, is there any other approach to bring more liquidity to decentralized exchanges? Well, yes, as we talked in the beginning, there are different types of audiences on the market out there, and there are also institutions that need like a large block execution. They don't care about the not smart liquidity and algo trading, but they want to execute large blocks. So that's where decentralized exchanges can actually find a niche, and they will compete with with ECNs and dark pools and everything that we do have on traditional markets, and that will and are eventually appearing on the crypto market.
Right. So, well, actually, very great insight. And we actually have a lot of questions from our audience. Let me just pick one of them. This is with increasing interest in privacy-focused blockchain technologies, will DEXs become more appealing due to their ability to offer greater anonymity? Iris, you want to take on that?
Sure. So I guess for now, especially for retail institutions, the reason why they're afraid of trade on DEX is because they don't know who's their counterparties. There's a counterparty risk. They're not sure where's the money from. They're afraid of connected to the like dirty money wallet or anything like that. If we can solve this problem, like we said, we KYB all the market makers. We can definitely see there's moving on needs from institutional side. We are in touch with some of the institutions who are willing to try the solutions we provided. We see that they want to move to on-chain because everything will be on. If everything will be on-chain, it's gonna be very transparent, and also they're gonna hold their own assets. So it's all self-custody. They don't need to really deposit money to centralized exchange. So that's definitely a move. But first, we need to make sure there's low risk for those institutions, and also second, the government need to support. I think that's another big push for institutions to try things on DeFi.
Right. That actually will bring us to our second part of our discussions. But before we move on to that, I'd like to remind our audience that there is a campaign going on during this live stream. We're giving away a 30,000 NOT token prize pool in this stream. All you need to do is scroll down to the live stream page, answer the questions, answer the pop quiz, and the first 100 winners were able to walk away with a share of 30,000 NOT token prize pool. And we also have exclusively new users red packet giveaway going on. So all you need to do is just click the red packet button on the screen, and then you're able to claim it. And this is only for newcomers. And we have 250 USDT as a reward pool for that red packet campaign. So yeah, if you don't have a Bybit account, create one now, sign up, and then you're able to get a chance to share that prize pool. And of course, we encourage our audience to participate our discussions. You can answer, you can ask questions, express your views. What is your favorite trading manner? You prefer centralized trading platform or a decentralized trading platforms, and why you love that? Tell us more about your preferences, and you are also able to get a chance to win the prize. So let's move on to second part of our discussions. As Iris just mentioned, that risk tolerance, government support, maybe some of these factors were able to drive the adoption of DeFi among institutions. Speaking of risk tolerance, and also I think transparency, security, these are all important measures. I want to ask Kevin. So when you talk to institutions, like regulatory concern or risk tolerance, is that some of the most or biggest barrier that institutions are kind of staying away from DeFi, isn't it?
Yeah, probably in that sense, because when we try to talk to some institutional clients to say, hey, can you trade on maybe a certain, maybe using like Connect Indexes offering to launch a product, they will prefer more on trading on the CFI exchanges because of the regulation constraint. So, like for example, in Hong Kong, if you're a regulated fund in Hong Kong, that you may be required to trade on only on the compliant exchange. Like for example, like those like bigger names like Coinbase and some others, or OSL or HashKey. And for them, they might be not being able, or even for their mandate, not able to trade with the DeFi. So that make them a little bit difficult to get more adoption into DeFi, even though some DeFi strategy can be more flexible and generate more yields around. I think another solution will be like having some like the prime brokerage platform, or like the trader facilitation, like for example LTP or B2C, to that they can actually connect you with both CFI and DeFi, so that they can be able to make use of these facilitation to trade on DeFi. Yeah, that I think that may be something that we can like have the beauty between like the CFI and then have also with the DeFi to have a more flexible solution on their trading strategy.
Okay. Well, maybe it still need more time for institutions to really adopt DeFi on a larger scale. But for retail users or some of the DeFi enthusiasts, I think probably DEX will be more appealing, or decentralized trading will be more appealing. Idris, is that always the case? When you trade, meme coins, when you trade tokens or NFTs, I guess DEXs, is it really offer more advantages or selection of products or offerings? Is that always the case?
Yes, definitely, because you need to keep in mind that the dominant narrative currently is meme coins. It's been 1 year and a half. Meme coins are completely dominating the market. So obviously, to earn more, you need to be the earliest to buy the meme coin. And basically, the only way that you can access to buy the meme coin is to buy its own chain. And how to do so? You need to use DEXs, because centralized exchanges, they have a listing process that take days. So in those days, like the market cap can go to 100 million before even get listed in the exchange. But index, the moment
Well, I guess
the developer, as long as the meme coin industry, as long as the meme coin narrative is the best, then I believe people will prefer to use DEXs than centralized exchanges.
Yeah, I totally understand, because like I personally also sometimes ape in some meme coins. I totally got what you mean. But for centralized platforms, such as Bybit, of course, there are a lot of innovations, and also trying to streamline the user experience, and offering more products, choice of selections. I'd like to pick on Nadim's brain. What are you expecting, or what would you like to see from centralized exchange, in terms of innovations that able to even further improve the user experience?
Well, from I think the centralized exchanges have done a great job, as Jakov was saying. It has been a major way. They had the institutions, they had to keep the institution, provide them with the set of tools that they require, which are smart trading tools, which is liquidity, etc. That has been great. Now, in order to move forward from here, they need to expand to the retail market, and that is where they have to bring in tools. They need to bring in excitement. They need to bring all this, being able to trade or buy NFTs directly on the exchanges, and they're moving to that. We've seen a few exchanges who are moving into staking, into pools, into there are a lot of innovations, and that is what I was talking earlier, which was this hybrid model where we're bringing in DEX benefits into the CEX platforms, and that is really something that will help. And so I think we're not saying that one will win or the other one will lose. I think there's a third one that is going to emerge. That is what we want. That is what it would be a great fit for the future, for crypto. And that would help, with our regulation compliance. That would help with our advanced trading features that we require from a retail or expert users. That would help with liquidity, cross-change, being able to transfer between blockchains. There are a lot of initiatives that are happening, and there are several projects that are running nowadays that are moving into that direction.
Right. So, Yakov, as Nadim just mentioned, a hybrid model, is it something will be appealing to people coming from TradFi background or traditional like trading firms? Are they expecting to see these innovations in crypto?
Well, that's really good question because no one really knows what hybrid model is. I mean, can you tell me what hybrid model is? Probably not, because there is no like a definition that is common for the market. In my opinion, what will be happening is that centralized exchanges will take the advantages of decentralized exchanges. Let me give you an example. So one of the biggest advantages of decentralized exchanges is self-custody. So when you are not ready to carry the counterparty risk, you don't want to give your money and your assets under control of some exchange out there, and you want to keep maximum control of it, then you prefer to use decentralized infrastructure. Now we can see that there is a big move for institutional market at first place, but I think there will be offers for retail, for advanced retail market as well, in terms of external custody solutions. So independent, audited, regulated, certified, licensed custodies. So you can trust your money, and you know that your money and your assets are in the regulated space, and it can be protected by different means. And then you use this external custody to trade on the centralized exchange because you're looking for liquidity. So that's what will be happening to centralized exchanges. On the other hand, what is happening to decentralized exchanges is that they're moving towards, first of all, being more compliant. And Iris already mentioned this, that for instance, their market makers are undergoing KYB procedures. So that's the move, the big move towards more compliance and more regulation applied to decentralized place, and as well as the easier user experience and onboarding processes. So I think there will be no such thing as a hybrid exchange per se, but centralized exchange will move towards getting advantages of decentralized exchanges and vice versa. And for the end user, I think there will be no distinction at the end of the day. So they will just go where the asset is traded. So if they want to trade meme coins, they will go to one platform, let's say the decentralized platform. And if they want to trade Bitcoin, they will go to centralized platform.
Right. So, I also pick up one questions from the floor. It's actually from one of our VIPs. He's asking, aside from trading, what other kinds of products or features a DEX can provide? maybe Iris can answer that, because like for some people, there's impression that decentralized exchange or decentralized platform may able to offer a more diversified or more products for users than in centralized exchange. Is that flexibility real?
I think product-wise, because centralized exchange definitely provide virus of product like derivatives, right? Because they have enough liquidities. But for decentralized exchange, like I just mentioned, there's a lot of tokens that might be first launched, or they say they started to have contract, but they can't really be traded on centralized exchange. In such case, some of the retail traders, they want to trade at the first stage. They have to go to DEX to trade those tokens. And on the other hand, of course, DEX, we have some of them provide yield farming, staking. But honestly, I feel like for now, there's centralized exchange. They are also adding those features to their platform by plugging in some of the white label solutions provided by decentralized exchange. So now it's more like a mix. But if you trade on DEX, of course, you might have more diversities on token options. That's for sure.
All right. Good insight. Well, before we moving on, again, I'd like to remind our audience that there's an ongoing campaign that everybody were able to get a chance to share a 30,000 NOT token prize pool. All you need to do is just scroll down to the live stream page and then answer the pop quiz. First 100 winners were able to get a chance to share that prize pool. And then we also have a red packet campaign. I've been told that the red packet, the last round of red packets is actually open for all the users. So, I'm sure you don't want to miss that. All you need to do is just click that red packet button when it appears on your screen, and you're able to get a chance to share 250 USDT prize pool. A lot of giveaways today. Hopefully everybody likes that. Now we've learned about the current state of centralized and decentralized trading. We also learned about some of the challenges and some of the opportunities there. When we look into the future of DEXs and CEXs as well, is there any are we seeing any or let me put it this way, some of the our panelists today actually highlight quite a few times that regulations could be a major concern for both kind of trading platforms. So especially for DeFi, some regulators, perhaps they still need some time to learn about what exactly DeFi is and how to set up a regulatory framework. For the DeFi people, is that regulation? Is that a major concern for you guys? Anyone can pick on that.
Well, I think regulation is a concern for institutions, definitely. For retail users, as I was saying earlier, there's this risk factor. It's more of a fun thing. It's in technology. It's a leading technology. We want to get into it. It's a lucrative market. Getting onto meme coins, making it 1,000 times what you invested. That is speculative investment for retail users, which is good. And even if they are not regulated, and they will be regulated in the future, and that brings the question of how distributed can it remain as it's being regulated, which is a whole other question. If you start regulating something, you need to centralize something. It could be security, it could be proof of reserves, it could be whatever. But so it's an open question. But most of the users and retail users who are farming or staking on meme coins, they're excited. They don't really care about the regulation. Even if it is in the background, everybody should have security in the back end of their mind. But still, it is something that will happen. We don't know in which form or what format or how it can be implemented on a distributed system. That's the major question for the future.
Right, and I guess like for some of the DeFi enthusiasts, once regulation comes to DeFi, will DEXs still able to be, with form of will that still be that decentralized as right now? I think that's kind of the question. So I mean, imagine one day you will need to do KYC when you're swapping tokens on Uniswap. Is that something good or bad? I guess Idris, do you want to take on that?
Yeah, then there's no points of blockchain then. Because then basically blockchain is made to privacy for privacy, so you can basically trade without let people know who actually you are. So and I think now people use DEXs just basically to avoid using doing KYC or basically to have more self custody and to control your wallet, etc. But if you're gonna do KYC while swapping in Uniswap, that will be a big problem, I think. And then the whole point of blockchain is gone.
Is that a big problem for you, Iris?
I think that's a very interesting topic because I mean, personally, I feel like they can happen in parallel because blockchain still can happen. Everything's gonna be on chain. Why? Like, the reason for KYB or KYC is to make sure that clients or institutions are trading in a safe environment. It's still gonna be self-custody. The difference is you will be KYB'd and you still own your assets to do this swap. And the benefits for this is it can increase a huge amount of institutions or people who don't really trust on DeFi already to bring them into this market. And also on the other side, it can give regulators more, like showing them more benefits or showing them more encouragement that DeFi projects are doing to embrace the central or the regulations regarding a permission DeFi solution.
Right. Well, besides regulation, of course, it would be a consideration for no matter for DEXs or centralized platforms. And so besides regulations, I think the technology itself is also something that I guess like everybody should look on. I think the current state of DeFi, it's very much different than, like 2 or 3 years ago, or what we've been seeing, back in DeFi summer. Right now we have, a lot of layer twos, a lot of, high efficiency wallets, and so on. So with things like, layer twos or even layer threes and all other, scaling solutions, are we gonna see a much more efficiency of decentralized trading, or even that some of these technology may able to help centralize platforms? Anybody want to take on that questions?
Well, I'll just give my 2 cents on that. Definitely level 2 scaling solutions are key. Because they're going to things that the layer 2 will enable is faster and cheaper transactions on DEXs by processing transactions off chain, reducing overall congestion on the layer 1, and that is key in the adoption, because whenever a retail user wants to trade something, he wants to be wants it to be done quick, fast, and just done, and move on to the next one. So layer 2 scaling is definitely something that is going to help. Now, I'm not an expert in level 2. I know there are a few projects that are really working on doing off-chain transactions, etc., that are getting adopted. So it's really good. What will be the future evolution of that, or what are the new technologies that are going to be? I don't really know. It's for me, it's not clear. So maybe Idris could, maybe he has a different insight, or Aris.
How about you guys? Idris, you want to add on that?
I didn't understand your question exactly, to be honest. Could you please repeat the question?
So when it comes to technologies, are you expecting any like new innovations that were able to change the way people trade, no matter you're on decentralized platform or centralized platform? Are you expecting, these kind of breakthroughs coming up?
Actually, yes. The only feature that I would be expecting is bridging in those DEXs, because the most challenging thing in using DEXs is basically the multiple blockchains. And obviously, as I mentioned before, when you are swapping and you are trading in blockchain. So, for example, if you want to buy a coin in Solana and you have Ethereum, then basically you need to bridge to Solana. And for DEX users, basically they bridge in other places, then come back to the DEX and use the DEX. And it's very hard to do, because there is some DEXs that gives you the wallet and gives you the private key of the wallet. You cannot connect that wallet. So basically, the bridging would be very challenging in this at this point. So the most useful feature that could DEXs have is basically to bridge from blockchain to another blockchain in the DEX without using third parties.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. Bridges, I would say it's an important piece of infrastructure when it comes to DeFi, and of course, that also extend to the discussions about security and things like that, which I think we're able to discuss this next time. Well, before we wrap up this conversation today, I'd like to ask each of our guests today that one last question. So you think DEX's innovations will eventually surpass centralized exchange in terms of user adoption? Is that ever going to happen? Let's start with Yakov.
Yeah, I think we've touched on this already a bit. So in my opinion, there is place on the market for both centralized exchanges and decentralized exchanges. And the technology behind can be important and can bring like more value in this or that area. But the market needs both. And we can see this clearly. So as a service that allows users, both retail and institutions, to trade on multiple venues, different exchanges, we see that both retail and institutions, they do ask for execution no matter where. They want to execute on Bybit, they want to execute on Uniswap, they want to execute on DYDX, they want to trade everywhere. And this will leave the space for all the platforms. And we've touched this a bit, the regulation part. I think it is very important to understand that the regulation will come and stay here. Like fighting regulation is useless. It's like fighting the ocean wave with a kitchen knife. So it will be there, and it will definitely lead to market fragmentation. So there will be less global players and more, regional, local players and niche players. So there will be space for everyone, and the services that provide, aggregation of this liquidity and access to different venues, they will win at the end of the day. Yeah, so that's what we're working on right now.
Iris, what do you think?
Well, I mean, we never know if there's gonna be another black swan event happen.
Yeah.
So of course, I expect that DEX can surpass the central exchange, because I mean I work for 1inch, but I think there's different target, right? Central exchange provide more derivatives for TradFi users to trade. They're more familiar on those kind of trading process. But DEX is really something that we need to work hard to educate users to onboard and try to make the boundary less or easier for users to onboard. For example, Fusion doesn't need to pay gas fees, like no gas fees. People ask, what is gas fee, right? It's never happened in centralized exchange. There's only trading fees. Well, I mean, on 1inch, you don't really need to pay trading fees, but yeah, so there's barriers for users or for us to try to minimize for users to onboard, and that's what we are working for. Yeah.
Okay, Kevin.
Yeah, I think for us, we see that the central exchange and then DeFi are just kind of like complementary, because somehow that we need DeFi to be the pioneer for some product innovation. So when we so say an example, like when we try to do the Condesk 20 as a top 20 index portfolio that we are working right now, we're trying to have more CEX exchange to launch perp, but at the same time that we also working with some DeFi so that they can like launch the product easier, and then because somehow that they are more capital efficient to do the AMM somehow, no need to having so many market makers at CEX exchange to provide liquidity. So we see the convergence between both, and then somehow that we need DeFi to be getting more like advanced so that they can both grow the ecosystem together.
All right, Nadim. I think you're on mute.
Oh, I was on mute again. Yeah, as Yakov was saying earlier, there is no means to fight regulation. We live in a world that is regulated. We would love, and that's the blockchain, ideology that Idris was talking earlier, which is blockchain is blockchain. I'm free to do whatever I want with whomever I want. That is, I absolutely agree. And that is definitely, having something which is on blockchain, which is public, who is transacting with who, but we know that is an ideal. And I would love that ideal to be true, but we're dealing with humans and governments and regulations. So we have to go there. So I think that will be a major thing that will need to be addressed as we move forward. From a pure DEX perspective, we talked about layer 2 solutions that are going to help with having faster, cheaper transactions. Idris talked a bit about cross-chain interoperability, which is bridges and protocol that will allow, seamless transfer between blockchains. That's a great thing that needs to happen. It's not easy, but it needs to happen. Further on, we can talk about decentralized order book protocols, combining automated market makers in one thing, which would help with the liquidity part. So there are, many topics, and the main topic that we've been addressing since the beginning is zero knowledge proof. How we need to make it simple, we need to make it accessible, we need to make it easy to use. So all those are innovations that can be applied to CEX, DEX, and that is where, even I would say the major innovation would be coming from the DEX ecosystem, because CEX is more traditional finance. It is in a very good framework already, and it's in a whole, I think it's a mature product, which will evolve. Definitely, it needs to evolve towards added features to bring additional features, but the most of the innovation is coming from DEX. That's how I see it. So it is definitely something that I'm very excited about, and let's see where it goes.
All right, Idris.
There are some challenges that DEXs face, and there is some criteria that they need to have. And I think if they have these specific criteria, I think they're gonna get more users than crypto exchanges, which is basically to support all the blockchains, which is very possible. Because now, for example, if I want to buy in Solana or Ethereum, I'm gonna use BullX or Poton. But for example, if I want to buy something, meme coin, in Sui, I'm gonna use another DEX, for example, HOP. So now I get like people get a little bit confused because they need to use different DEXs so that they can access a specific blockchain, and they have to use a lot of wallets. So it's a mess. But if we have a DEX where that supports all the blockchains, also we can bridge in that DEX. And talking of bridges are getting better now because a few years later, when you bridge, you have to wait like 35 minutes, even 1 hour to receive. But now in 5 minutes, you just receive. You can bridge in 5 minutes. So basically, if DEXs have bridge and supports all the blockchains, I think they're gonna get more users than exchanges, I believe.
Yeah.
All right, awesome discussions. Well, I guess we are still early in crypto. A lot of innovations, technologies. Of course, there's challenges as well as opportunities. I think the future of crypto trading, no matter it's on centralized or decentralized platforms, I think there is still a lot of room to grow, and at the same time, there'll be a lot of challenges. And honestly, like nobody really knows, what it'll be like in, like 3 or 5 years now. But then I guess that's the most excited part of crypto at all. Well, thank you so much, our panelists today, sharing very good insights, and also thank you everyone who joined this live session. So if you want to replay this, it's available on the Bybit website. You can check it out later on. And if you want to learn more about some of the new technologies that it's shaping the future of crypto trading, you can always go to Bybit Learn to read more and study more. So yeah, that's about today. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next time.